Every moment of our lives is fleeting, and as a result, many of us have a natural urge to make the most of our time and capture our most pleasant memories. We live in an age now where it's pretty normal to share every aspect of our lives online, but it wasn't always like this. Before digital media evolved to what it is today, people needed to make much more of an effort to preserve the recorded memories. Consequently, this has led to the loss of many recorded moments. But what is lost can always be found. This is the goal of the unique YouTube channel Found Memories. This channel is very new, only being created in April of this year. They have acquired thousands of videotapes over the years from pawn shops, private sellers, auctions, thrift stores, and many other places. Their mission statement is to archive them on this channel for posterity's sake, in hopes that one day, someone connected to any of these videos might find them and savor an old memory. There are over 100 different tapes uploaded to this channel at the moment, each providing a unique moment into someone's past. They span across a decent chunk of time, from the early 90s to the late 2000s. There's a lot of variety to them, from ordinary moments to weird conspiracy rantings.
There's a light up in the sky. Those aren't planets. Oh, definitely. This is natural. I can assure you. A bunch of asses. NASA can be.
To cringy comedy skits people created.
Well, the reason we don't want to sell you no vanilla ice cream cones is because you're Indians.
Yeah, you're not white enough.
But out of all of these tapes, there is one that stands out as the strangest. According to Found Memories, this tape was just labeled Jason Sleeping, and there's no context other than this. This 2007 tape just shows someone setting up a camera in this child's room and recording them sleep. For the whole recording, the camera just sits in that exact position, with the only thing happening just being the kid occasionally turning in his sleep. The footage continues for half an hour before abruptly ending. Despite the tape being relatively uneventful, something about this is just inherently unsettling. It's so ordinary, but the nature of the video and the lack of context is so ominous. It taps into a primal fear we all have of being watched. I'm sure you've all experienced that tone of being alone in the dark and having that unshakable feeling that you're being watched. That's the exact vibe this tape gives off. The few comments on the video share the same sentiment, with even the uploader saying this is the weirdest tape they've looked at so far. One person even questioned the authenticity of this tape, noting that it gives off an atmosphere similar to what we see in analog horror. While I understand the doubts, I believe this footage is authentic. I could see why someone might argue that given how strange this is, along with the backstory of how the tape was found, it might seem like it could have been fabricated to generate hype. But this is unlikely. Like I said, there's over 100 videos on this channel from other tapes I've collected, all spanning different time periods, locations, and people. And while a couple of these tapes are a little weird, none of them are creepy. So if this were a setup, that would imply that Found Memories would have to either collect or personally record all of these tapes himself just to make a single creepy tape that is honestly pretty uneventful all things considered. It's much more likely that this is authentic. As far as what's actually going on in this tape is up for debate, and I guess we can't really know for sure. It's enticing to try and make this something more by diving into stories of some sort of creepy stalker situation, but this is unlikely. The more likely explanation is that the recording was taken by the parents of this kid to monitor his sleep for some sort of potential health issue. This is backed up by someone in the comments sharing an anecdote from their childhood where they were sleepwalking, and one night their mother videotaped them to try and catch it on tape. This definitely feels like the most plausible explanation. The main creepy factor this has is the fact that the act of watching someone sleep just inherently feels so intrusive. This isn't the only scenario in which this intuition has been used to create unsettling vibes, but I have to interject with an important update first. So as you guys might remember, a couple of videos ago I was talking about my journey getting into scent and trying to figure out what I liked and all of that, and at first I was kind of clueless, but I feel like I've learned a lot since then, and I have a much better feel of what kind of a scent I'm going for. And I have 4 more that I have now that I've been looking into. So the first new one that I have is Yellowstone. I like this one a lot. This one is, it's, you know, just pretty sweet and florally. Once again, this is like an everyday one that I could see myself wearing. And then the next one I got was ThereIs Black. Now with this one, I actually got this one in the last batch, but it really was growing on me and I liked it so much that I got it again. The next one that I got was called Better Than Your Ex. This one was a unique one. This was more of like a mix between like florally notes and peppery notes. So this was a pretty interesting one that I liked. And then the last one that I got was called Fruto Oscuro. This one was definitely the most unique of the bunch. When I took like my first like smell of this, I literally was like, whoa, because of how unique this was. It was almost like a candy-ish kind of scent, but not in an overpowering kind of way. I don't really know how to describe it. So I'm really happy that today's sponsor, Scentbird, is able to give me these. They're really, really great. They're affordable. You can get your first fragrance for only $8 and the next one for only $16.95. And one thing that I really liked is that they make it so easy to find a scent that you're really gonna like. On their website, they have this little quiz you can take. You just answer a few easy questions and then they'll guide you to a scent that you might like. That was really, really helpful for me when I was trying to get into this because like I said, I knew literally nothing about scents when I started. And also, they're just really easy. You know, they come in these small little vials that are tiny. They're easy to carry around. It's impossible to not have space for something like this. And because of the big variety that they have on their website, you can just order anything you want, have it shipped right to your door, so you don't have to like actually leave and go to a physical store and do it. It's all really, really simple. So if you're interested in trying Scentbird, you can scan the QR code or use the code ScareTheater to get 55% off at Scentbird. That's 55% off your first month, just to clarify. A product this amazing doesn't just grow on trees, you know. It's super simple. You get the product for like half price, which is amazing. So that's code ScareTheater for 55% off at Scentbird. Now let's get back into this video. A somewhat similar situation unfolded over a decade ago on Reddit when, on October 17th, 2011, a user named Why Not Be Me Too created a subreddit called Pictures of Ian Sleeping. The subreddit consisted of exactly what you'd expect. Pictures of some random dude named Ian sleeping, each timestamped with the date. For obvious reasons, the seeming violation of privacy and lack of context perplexed just about everyone who happened to stumble upon this. As the story unfolded, Why Not Be Me Too alluded to the fact that he and Ian were college roommates. The comments were filled with people expressing their confusion and thoughts about this behavior being creepy. But this didn't slow down the uploads. In fact, they progressed to the point where they even occasionally featured some girl, assumed to be Ian's girlfriend, sleeping next to him. The picture isn't explicit or anything, but there is a reason I'm censoring this, which will become clear in a moment. Curiosity around this subreddit continued to grow, and eventually, the subreddit gained a sudden increase in popularity when someone made a post about this on the WTF subreddit, saying, "Ian's roommate, you are weird." This post gained some traction, reaching nearly 2,000 upvotes, which consequently led to the Pictures of Ian subreddit attracting a much larger audience than before. Among this audience included people who thought this was creepy, bizarre, and even funny. The subculture that spawned around this community as a result is really fascinating to look back on. What started off as some ominous mystery turned into one big inside joke for everyone in the subreddit. It's interesting how much interest people took in keeping up with this, many members taking on the flair of watches Ian sleep. It was as if they actually knew him, becoming proud of him for specific moments, asking inquiries about him, and even gossiping over inconsistencies about him they've perceived. It sounds weird to say, but it was kind of endearing. Despite this, there was still a group of people who were concerned about this because, you know, the whole thing was a little creepy. Even though it was harmless, at this point most people were under the assumption that Ian didn't know what was going on, with some of them even insisting that Why Not Be Me Too keep this a secret from him as long as possible, which was just kinda weird. After a while of speculation on what was going on, the answer finally became apparent. Ian himself revealed that he knew what was going on from the beginning, and he was in on the joke, which pretty much entirely reduces the creep factor. And with that, everyone who was once concerned was now finally at ease to know this was just some weird internet joke thing. Well, almost everyone. In early March of 2012, the project hit its biggest hurdle. Remember Ian's girlfriend that periodically appeared in the pictures? Well, her mother somehow found out about this subreddit, and after seeing images of her daughter sleeping, was horrified by all the people taking interest in it. Now, to be clear, this girl was also in on the joke and said she was okay with the pictures being taken, but her mother didn't see eye to eye on this and she lost it. Because of the pseudo-voyeuristic nature of the subreddit, the mother thought it was some weird fetish thing, which, in her defense, I can totally see why an older person unfamiliar with the internet culture would think that. And to make things even more complicated, the girl was 17 years old in some of the pictures that were posted, so this really muddled the situation. The mother contacted Reddit admins, threatening to sue Reddit and claiming Why Not Be Me Too was a CP photographer. Why Not Be Me Too tried to explain to her that it was just some weird internet art thing, but she wasn't having it. In one of Why Not Be Me Too's writings about this incident, he explained how frustrated he was by all of this. You might think, why not just delete the subreddit? It had a good run, but it's really not all that serious. But this project meant a lot to him. The community had thousands of members at this point, and Why Not Be Me Too saw this as a legitimate art project that had sentimental value to him. He didn't want to just fold to the will of a single person based on principle. He knew the joke wouldn't go on forever, but he didn't want it to go out like this. I'm curious what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments if you think the mother overreacted or if her reaction was reasonable. Anyway, eventually Reddit admins did get involved and the site deleted most of the pictures that included the girl at the mother's request. In addition, Why Not Be Me Too took it upon himself to get rid of most of the photos that included the girl on Imgur as well. After a long run, the project came to a final halt on July 1st, 2012, when Why Not Be Me Too announced the project was over since the lease on their apartment was up and him and Ian were no longer roommates. The project's legacy still lives on for the short but exciting hype that it caused, and there are still some occasional posts with more recent pictures of Ian as they call back to the original joke. So it's good to see they've all still remained friends. My point in sharing this is that, just like the Jason sleeping tape, it's easy to look at things that are eerie or unusual on the surface and craft narratives around them, but oftentimes the explanations are mundane. And in some cases, where no particular meaning or explanation is obvious, it could just be people doing weird things because they can. The Found Memories channel has a special charm to it that's hard to describe. It's like a time capsule filled with unique snapshots of normal people's lives, and serves as a reminder to cherish even the ordinary moments. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the flip side. Thanks again to Scentbird for sponsoring this video. Make sure to use my code ScareTheater or click the link below to get 55% off your first month at Scentbird.